My name is Virgil Hatcher, but most folks just call me the Hatcher on account of my profession, you might say. I reside in an old rickety house out in the Carolina backwoods, miles from the nearest town. It's the perfect setting for what I do, dealing in the trades of life and death. You see, I have a unique ability. I can hatch things, plants, animals, even people if I concentrate hard enough. All it takes is a tiny seed, egg, or cell, and my dark powers can grow it into whatever I desire. Gardens and livestock come easy to me, but my true talents lie in darker directions. It all started back in my youth when I accidentally killed my baby sister. Just a dumb kid playing too rough. But after she was buried, I snuck into the graveyard and used my gift to rehatch her from a single cell. Only she came back different. Her skin was pale and veiny, her eyes solid black pits. She had become a living gateway between this world and the realm of the unliving. From that day on, I was doomed to walk a crooked path. Folks started coming to me with requests. Hatch me a new baby, they'd say, after losing one to the croup or a misfallen. Bring back my brother who I loved so dear. Resurrect my wife, the apple of my eye, after she passed too soon. And I was happy to oblige, for a price. Those reborns never turned out right, though. They was haunted, evil things. After a while, townsfolk wouldn't come by my place no more on account of the inhuman shrieks and cries that echoed through the woods day and night from all the poor, restless souls I birthed. I grew old and lonesome, conversing only with the ungodly creations I hatched to keep me company. But they eternally craved flesh. Any piece of meat they could slither, crawl, or shamble towards to stuff their perpetually hungry maws. I had to keep sliding fresh carcasses their way to maintain order. That's how it's been for over 60 years now. Just me and the Reborns, scraping out a dark life on the fringes of the world. Every full moon I perform a sacrilegious rite that sustains my wicked powers to hatch the unborn and revive the dead. A babe's brain smeared on an altar, bathed in the blood of a stillborn calf. You get the idea. I make bargains with dark spirits, allow foul entities to possess me temporarily in exchange for maintaining my abilities. Shadows creep in the night I dread, for they sometimes bring lurid visions of myself twisted and deformed by the evil forces I consort with. Still, no price is too steep to pay for keeping my unholy arraignments intact. The hatching must go on at all costs. Each creation is unique, some more humanoid than others, but all are terrible to behold. Lumpy gray flesh, pus-leaking orifices, clawed appendages. I shudder even describing them. Yet they are my children in a profane, unnatural sense. We have a symbiotic bond that ties our cursed existences together. Which brings me to why I've summoned you here tonight. I fear my time on this mortal plane is nearing its end. My body grows frail and my hatching abilities weaken with each passing year. That's why I must choose an heir from the ranks of the Reborns, to carry on my unhallowed work after I'm gone. I've narrowed it down to you and a few others. You all descended from human stock initially before I twisted you in the hatching chamber into vehicles for the undead. Your frames are relatively intact, less monstrous than most. You still maintain some remnants of intelligence, of free will. That makes you ideal candidates for the knowledge transfer. Tonight, under the full moon, I will enact an ancient rite to bestow my powers to one of you lucky souls. The rest, well, they will be discarded. Their wretched forms consigned to the cellar to starve and devolve. Only one can take my place as Hatcher. The question is, who shall it be? Perhaps it's you, the one they call the Flayer. You were once a doctor before I resurrected you from a fatal car crash. Your desiccated flesh peels off in long strips, exposing the raw muscle underneath. You have a knack for performing surgical procedures on live subjects. Or could it be you, my darling Epitry? You began as a sapling hatched in poisoned soil before twisting into a semi-humanoid form. Your wooden limbs are lined with sharp quills that can impale a fully grown man. Then again, the jawless one is a worthy contender. He was born from the egg of an extinct carnivore. With no mouth, he must consume his prey by enveloping them in his grotesque body and dissolving them in his caustic innards. A gruesome way to go indeed. So many terrifying choices. How does one decide which of you freakish fiends to pass my cursed heritage on to? I suppose the time-honored tradition of mortal combat will have to be the judge. Whichever of you manages to slay the others and still be standing at dawn's first light shall become my heir apparent. Let the unholy ceremony commence. I shall recite the blasphemous incantations to awaken the dark spirits that lend me their savage energies. Then I'll open the hatchway into your holding cells and you Reborns will be unleashed upon one another. May the essence of the Hatcher live on in the last creature still breathing when the carnage finally ends. Well, well. I must admit I'm somewhat surprised you were the last wretch left alive, my callow friend. But you proved your tenacity through that grueling gore-soaked showdown against your twisted brethren. You've more than earned the right to receive my powers and take up my damned mantle. Come, let us adjourn to the summoning chamber where I shall complete the transference ritual and... What's this? You seem apprehensive. Having second thoughts about embracing your newfound destiny as the Hatcher incarnate. I can assure you the life of an outcast warlock birthing profane aberrations is quite fulfilling once you get the hang of it. What's that? You never wished for these dark abilities to begin with. You simply awoke one day as a... What was the term? Reborn. Yes, I recall now. You were once just a humble taxidermist who had the grave misfortune of being selected for my unholy experiments. Well, I'm afraid your previous life is a distant memory now. You are an agent of the underworld, whether you like it or not. And you will assume the mantle as my heir by permutating your very essence to receive my eldritch knowledge and abilities. Do not fight what must be, and no, you fool, how dare you interrupt the sanctified ritual and turn my own powers against me? This cannot be how it... My precious abilities, being leached away, transferred against my will. I cannot... Hello, darkness, my old friend. Fool. Hello? Hello, is anyone there? Quote Esme. Or at least what's left of Virgil Hatcher. I'm bodiless now. An ethereal whisper reduced to possessing this rather mundane-looking taxidermy form. My hatching abilities are gone, sucked from my very core by that wretched Reb, my former heir. I feel so powerless, so adrift. Yet perhaps that is for the best. My seedy dealings with the undead realms brought me nothing but misery in the end. I'm almost relieved to be cut off from that horrific existence. If you can hear my astral voice, I beg you, seek me out wherever this empty husk resides. Use whatever tools are at hand to release me from this frail chrysalis, allowing what little remains of my essence to dissipate forever. Only then can I be at peace. Only then can the curse of the Hatcher finally be lifted from this world. Please, I'm so very tired. Let me go.